Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm using this gorgeous printable by His Palette, and you can go get it over on their online shop. You can use my code for some discount. I'll leave it down in the description box below. I'm using a transfer method done by Tia Sapuierkamer, which she's a great friend of mine here locally in South Africa. Really love and adore her. And this transfer method really transfers, obviously, the image directly onto the page. So it transfers the ink and you remove the paper, kind of thing. A lot of extra goodies to do that isn't exactly necessary, but it gives a different effect, and it really did allow for some play, which I thoroughly enjoyed. There is some key things that I would suggest from lots and lots of failed transfers. So make sure that your pages are dry on both sides. So you'll put the transfer material, the gel medium, or the primer, you'll put on the front of the picture as well as the front of the page that you're going to stick it onto. So you're going to put it on top of the picture and on top of the page that you're going to put it onto. Apply like 2 or 3 coats and let it dry completely. Then put on another layer on both sides and stick them face down onto one another, making sure to work out the bubbles from the center outwards. You do not want to get any of that transfer liquid onto the now backing white piece of the picture, because that's going to make rubbing this off very difficult. So I did print this on an inkjet printer, and I did use 160 GSM paper, which is very heavy and wasn't entirely necessary, and probably would have been easier if I had used a lighter paper. But nonetheless, that is what it is. So not an issue at all. Then, having rubbed a lot, then you can take off the or you can, on that wet surface, you'll apply the primer. So when it's still wet from you rubbing, okay, and using water, so you'll put water on your fingers, rub away the paper, and then after that is done, you'll apply another layer of primer over. Once you're happy with the way it looks, because once you apply the primer, it is set and permanent. There's no more rubbing to be done to get rid of any of the white. And especially on this Kraft dot journal, you can really see the places where I didn't rub sufficiently. Not the end of the world though. I am gonna use my Derwent inktense pencils to sketch out the lines, refine the lines a little bit, and then just apply some water, because the Derwent inktense pencils is in fact an India ink, and so it will move up until it's dry, and when it's dry it's permanent. It is an ink, not a watercolor. So there's that. I seriously loved doing this. It is probably the most creatively I've challenged myself in a very long time, because I just remembered everything everyone said and held the pencil as far back as I possibly could and just drew, and it didn't look great at first. I wasn't happy, and then suddenly I was. So you've got the guideline of the beautiful picture that Kimberly has made available for us at His Palette, and then you can just use and create and add a little bit of your own flair. Now, if you want to see the queen of flair, that of course would be Tia, and you should go and check her out if you haven't yet. I will link her her pages down below, and you can go and have a look at how great her stuff is. Really, it's phenomenally out of this world. So because I'm applying kind of a I would guess this is a amber color, burnt umber kind of color, to the skin tone, it is taking away that stark white from the paper that was left over, and kind of taking on more of the Kraft dot journal and making it look even more transparent, which in the end I loved. So I am going to add a little bit of me flair with a stamp there, a little mixed media kind of stamp, just to sort of root her onto my page. And then decide to, since rooted is my word of the year, I am going to get the word on here as well. And I couldn't think of anything better. I love that this girl is flourishing. She is got these flowers around her head, these well, I don't know what kind of flowers they are, but she's got these flowers around her head, and I love that she is, flourishing, and it must mean that the roots are settled such that they can bear fruit and have flowers and all of those things. So I've been pondering on this word, deeply rooted in the love of Christ, deeply rooted and grounded in the love of Christ, according to Ephesians 3. And it really has moved me to dive in deeper, to make sure that my roots grow deep and that they are solid, so that I'm not uprooted at any and every little thing that happens. I need to stay connected. I need to stay remaining in the source. He is the vine, and I am dependent on him for my life source. So thanks for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.